So this is one of the render. I just wanted to show you guys one of the render of that entry portal, right? How it's going to look like. And this is that water body we have designed there. In most of the places, now that this project we have it's much, we have finished all the design and there's a lot of rendering available. I'll show as many images as possible so that you can get an understanding of how that space is going to look and feel also, which I feel is very, very important. So this is how the entire main portal is going to look like. And another key aspect has been the double height tower lobbies. Again, tower lobbies is something which has become very, very important for our customers. And again, it's an aspirational thing, right? When somebody is coming to your house, your guest or your relative, that is where you can go and receive them, right? So you want the property to leave an impression in their minds. So this is another key thing. So just to give you a brief of where all the lobbies are coming. In Tower A, you can see that the lobbies are, at 2 locations. And then in Tower B, again, you have at 2 locations. So each tower has their own lobbies, 3 locations. So each tower has their own set of lobbies. So at, the experience is same whether you're entering into Tower A or Tower B. These are some of the rendering images of the lobby. Again, the lobby is double heighted, so you'll have almost 4.5 meter of clear height space. Total height is around 5.5 meter, but 4.5 meter of clear height space, and this is how the interiors of the space is looking like. And this is the lift lobby section, right? Again, as you can see, it will stand on par with any of your major buildings in New York and London, right? Residential towers there. So even you can see the cladding above the lift top, right? That's also has been with all luxury materials and all. So that one gets a feel of that they're entering into a 5-star hotel. That's what we want the property to communicate right in the beginning to its users. Right, little bit I wanted to talk about the traffic plan as well, how it's going to look like. So for the resident and the guest who wanted, you can see the resident entry and exit is marked in purple and red is the way out. And for the drop off, you have a roundabout at the main porch. So, your taxis or any of your guests can get dropped off there and the car can go and park in the basement. And from there, the guest can move into the grand reception, and then from there they can be guided to the respective towers. So this is how as to go to basement 3 or basement 4, how do you go there and how do you come out from there, how the ramps are designed. So let me play this small video so that you'll have an understanding of how the traffic flow can be. To exit the building from, you're going to enter into the basement 1 directly and you're going to exit from the B1 directly. So that's another thing. And you can see the design also, right, what I've played. It's very intuitive designs from the ramps standpoint. You just, the left hand side of the ramps is simply entry ramps and the right hand side is simply the exit ramps. You don't have to, cut across the basements, go from one section to other section and then take ramps. We have, sort of decluttered all of that. So it becomes very easy to, go to the basements and even exit from there. So that was the design of the entire parking plan. Right. Next, I'll get into the next aspect of the lifestyle grid, what I call the living space. What is the sort of innovations we have done here and to, suit our customer requirement and their aspirations. So some of the key highlights, what I would like to point out in this living space segment is this particular project has the largest in segment living room. almost 192 square feet of living room is what you get. This is the largest in this segment of apartments, 1700 to 2000 square feet module mein. This is the biggest in its category. Because again, what we have seen is that when we spoke to our customers, a lot of the people now who are coming, their guests who come, like, probably the guests, they meet at the lobbies or they bring them to their house. So right at the beginning, we wanted to make sure the house looks bigger. So that was one key thing. And again, we have planned a feature wall also, as you can see, a mirror wall there, learning from our other projects, which could be treated really well in interiors. So this is the largest living room in its category. And you can see the floor plan also, this small render about it, how seamlessly it is integrated with the outdoor space also, which I'll be showing in the further renders. And it's like the entire house can come together. You don't have like completely isolated spaces. You have spaces which can interact with each other. Right? Again, this has one of the largest floor to ceiling height in this segment. In this module of 1695 to 1870 sizes, we have the highest floor to ceiling heights. The standard, as you all know, is 3000 mm or 3000 millimeter. In this, we have taken 3150 millimeter, approximately 5 to 6 inch extra space what you get. And that will add to a lot of, it will make you feel much like, much more, I would say much more lighting and much more ventilation is what you could feel in this with a higher ceiling, right? These are the gross height, slab to slab. Net height would be somewhere the slab height would be 200 mm, and then you can remove like 70 to 100 mm of flooring height. So in a net sense, you would be having close to 5 inch more space, 5 to 5 inch actually, 5 inch more space than any of your typical communities. So this will make it look much, much more grander. And then one of our best seller and something which our customers have really appreciated and given great feedback about is our outdoor living. Again, we were able to bring the outdoor living concept even to the 1700 square foot sizes, 1695 actually. So that even for that customer, we can give that great experience, right? So these are some of the render of how that outdoor living is going to look like. And again, it has a total glass, railing. So you can look inside out and it looks much, much more modern and classier, right? So this is the view from the family dining room. And again, these houses are designed with the first time home buyer, family of 3 to 4 in size, so that it gives them the right functionality of space, and at the same time people can easily interact with each other. Like the entire house can come together in case there's a larger gathering in the house. So this is the family dining and kitchen, the view of the outdoor living. And then the next thing is the practical luxury. As I've been mentioning in various of other presentations as well, is that keeping in the customer demography in mind, wherein the key aspect is majority of our customers are wife and husband working. So that is a dual income households. And most of them are clocking in close to 50-hour work weeks. So naturally, they would require the facility or the project to give a lot more services to make their life easy. So we have consolidated these amenities under the concept of practical luxury. So the basic idea was people should be going, people should be, to meet the day-to-day requirements, they should be able to go there in within 100 steps or 1 or 2 minutes. That was the premise of the design brief. And this is how we have arranged all those amenities so that people can easily get there, right? And, fulfill their needs. So one key thing, as we have been mentioning in earlier things also, is the co-working space. Again, taking cognizance of the fact that close to 80%, 83% of our customers actually have mentioned that they are exposed to hybrid work. And a good number of, in fact, NRI customers also who have been purchasing with us. I've seen that when we were doing research, they were pointing out that when we come to India, like for a longer vacation, like 1 or 2 months, typically we do we work like 2 to 4 weeks for their US office. So that they can simply come here and work, so they don't use up the home space, which should be for home activities. So we have a big business center, which can easily accommodate close to around 60 workstations. And we have approximately 4 conference rooms as well, where people can book it and use it. And then again, they won't be bored just working out of the house. So they can come here, they'll have an office environment within 100 steps. That was the idea. So you just take your lift and come to the ground floor. You're going to find it in the urban corridor area, the tower podium level. These are some of the renders of that space. Again, all of this is designed, so I'm able to share the renders. Right. Next, very, very important thing, particularly this was asked by a lot of our women customers, is that the safety lockers, particularly to, store valuables like property documents and jewelry and, antiques, things like that. So in this facility, we are giving provision for safety lockers. And closer to handover, we will be tying up with a banking partner who would be establishing the lockers and they'll be managing it. Next is the salon and spa. Again, these are all day-to-day utilities. What will give you the comfort of living your life easily so that you don't have to, for basic things, you don't have to take your car out, travel 20 minutes and, lose that time. The idea is that you get these things, the basic utilities of life sorted in 2 to 3 minutes. Again, we have a big salon and spa located in the clubhouse. So, comes with all state-of-the-art facilities. Again, closer to the handover, we will be signing up with a vendor who will be serving you guys. These are all some of the design renders. Right, next thing is the supermarket. Again, this we have placed in the ground floor of one of the towers. The idea was, again, I've mentioned earlier also, there is a better footfall ratio and the entire convenience becomes better when it's right in the ground floor rather than being in the first, second floors in a clubhouse or somewhere else. So again, this is located right in the podium level in the ground floor of one of the towers. So a big supermarket is there. Just the image. So again, closer to handover, we'll be signing up a vendor who will be serving you. Next is the medical office, which again also I felt was a very, very important thing. So this is a place where doctors can come on demand and do, I would say, basic diagnosis. Like if it's fever and those sort of things, doctors would be here on demand. We will be signing up with, again, service provider closer to the handover. So again, this also was something which our customers have mentioned that, we have working days and when the child falls sick or when there's a parent at home, they have some basic healthcare needs. It would be better if we have doctor on call or a medical facility in the premise where they can go and get their, get their diagnostics done. And even blood sampling, again, these days, a lot of sample collection and all of those things also happen. Of course, they can do it at home also. In case they don't want to, they can do it here also. So this is a medical office. So these we believe are the vital important things of a day-to-day life which happens. And this is where we wanted to bring in convenience because we don't want our customers to lose their valuable time in looking for solutions around your groceries or your basic healthcare or your work from home situation. We wanted to give solutions for this so that they don't waste time in going out for this and and in some cases the facility not even being there. So this is what we considered under the practical luxury and we felt important from living a smooth and seamless life. This is an image of that. Right, next let me talk about the social life. Right, again, a very, very important aspect of our modern day life is the entire social life scene. Right, a lot of the customers in this are young couples and young families. Right, and unlike in the past, these days, the way we socialize also has changed. Right, we have people coming over more frequently to houses and there's a lot of things and we celebrate kids' birthdays and all much more frequently. So I just want to cover what are we doing around that. So when you have guests coming over to your house, you need not worry about you need not worry about where they're going to, about their accommodation. You've got 5 guest bedrooms in the clubhouse. So they're located in the clubhouse section. These are some of the images of how the guest bedrooms are going to look like. Then you have a big multi-purpose hall located on the ground floor of the clubhouse. So you can do any events here. Easily, I think you can accommodate close to 150 to 200-ish people. Right, and the entire ingress is easier. And it even comes with its own green room because this was another feedback when we took from our projects where we have already handed over and people are staying. When they're having a party in the family, they were telling a green room was a must, because if not, they had to get ready in the house and then come there, and then it was becoming a little difficult. So this multi-purpose hall comes with a green room as well, so that people can do their entire pre-party prep in that location. This is some of the renders of that space. And again, you can see the entire design aspect has been done by keeping in mind that how our consumers felt when they went to any of these modern buildings in in New York or London, in these places. So you can see the way the entire interior design is done from the materiality standpoint. It's very modern in nature and very, I would say, very fine design. Right. Then let me go to the fitness zone. Again, the entire fitness and wellness is something which is very, very important for us, and I feel very, very important for our customers as well, given that majority of them are in the IT workforce, and all of us know that the sort of mental stress which one goes through, and then the entire, these days they say, right, sitting is the new smoking. So it's very, very important to move and get engaged in some sort of sport or fitness activity. So let me give you a detail of what all we have done around that. So in the sports amenities, from a sports standpoint, we have a basketball court on the podium level. This is one of the render from there. Then we have 3 indoor air-conditioned badminton courts. This is how the space is going to look like. Again, this project we have finished all the design, so I'm able to share most of the renders of all these places, and this is how it's going to look like. And then we have a squash court also in this, again located on the ground floor of the clubhouse. Again, squash is a program. Also have been, as a requirement has come up with few of our customers, so we could, in the design stage itself, accommodate in 2022 when we were designing. And then now the fitness zone. So this is all regarding to the sports side. And now let me talk about the entire, like the workouts and all that side. So we have a 2-level indoor gym, one of the, again, the biggest in its class in this product category. It's located in the clubhouse, and the entire gym overlooks the swimming pool. So it gives you a very, very good, sort of views to call per se when you work out. But again, generally gyms overlooking swimming pool is something where a lot of high-end hotels have that. So we thought we could, sort of imbibe it here. So why not? So it's a 2-level gym. This is one of the levels. So you can see it's overlooking the pool. And this is at the first floor, the mezzanine level. Mezzanine level, we have another workout space, and then even the yoga room. So this is how it's going to look at the mezzanine level. And then this is the outdoor fitness station, particularly used mostly by our senior customers. People who are in the elder, senior age groups typically tend to work out, use more of the outdoor fitness stations than the indoor ones. Right, and then a double-heighted swimming pool, again one of the largest in its class in terms of its length and width. It's close to 100 feet, right, in length, and this is the render. And you can see the gym overlooks the pool, so that you have it looks very good. And again, a kids pool is attached to that. Right, and again, the last, and I would say in the lifestyle grid, and the most important thing, given that majority of our customers are in the childbearing phase, is the entire facility, what facilities we are giving around kid centricity, like child centric. Because see, frankly, this is one of the biggest, I would say, requirement from all our customers, and they are one, kids have been one of the main, I would say, very primary users, though they are not the direct buyers. But we have, when in our interviews, we have realized that with our customers, that kids are a major, motivation factor to upgrade their lifestyle. And so what are the facilities we are giving for them? So it comes with the largest, space provision for kids. So we have a creche, because we anticipate a lot of people in this community will be in the early childbearing phase. So we have one of the largest creche, and we have a tuition and a hobby center where kids can do joint project work, given that there'll be so many kids, and I presume they'll be working, they'll be in the same schools also, because a lot of schools in the neighborhood. So there'll be always good number of kids who are going to the same school or perhaps same class. So there's a hobby center where they can study together, or even have a sort of a home tutor who can come and teach them there, right? And then we have a giant indoor play zone. This is something which we have been the first mover in the city to give this facility, and kids are really loving it. So let me quickly go through it. So it's all these put together, and we have a big outdoor kids play area. All this put together, close to 22,000 square feet of space comes in. So this is the creche, again, strategically located on the ground floor of one of the towers. And the idea was this should be very, very close proximity to the co-working space. Because when we were visualizing this, we were visualizing a scenario where, you know, the mother particularly is working from the co-working space, and the kid is just 50 or 100 feet away from her in the next tower itself. She can just, she can just go check on the baby. So that was one of the key purpose. So the creche in this project is located on the ground floor and the podium floor underneath one of the towers. And the co-working is also located on the ground floor in just the beside tower. Some of the renders. Again, closer to the handover, we will be bringing in service providers to operate these spaces. This is outdoor kids play area. This is the tuition and hobby center, again located in the ground floor of one of the tower. Right here, any sort of kids can do combined project work, or if they have a tutor at home who will be, they can take those, they can operate from this place rather than occupying home space. They can do their studies and those sort of things from here. Some of the renders of how that place looks like. And actually these days, just before I go to the next one, these days I've seen that in a lot of communities, there are a lot of service providers who are coming and providing weekend activity. Like recently I've seen my son go to a Ganesha making activity now that Vinayaka Chaturthi is coming. So they hosted, so I think this was in their school, if I'm not wrong. But even in some communities also these days, there are this third party vendors and service providers who are offering weekend activities like story reading, and some sort of Lego making, these sort of things. So all of those kid activities can be conducted from this space. And then this is the indoor play zone. So this I'm just showing how it's going to look like, because the exact design for this site is not yet done. But this is the indoor play zone which we executed in Spire, and as you can see, it mainly caters to kids in the age group of 1 to 5. We have seen that the way they play is different. So we have built this, and what we see typically in malls. So we have given this. In fact, this is the only community in the city which currently operates such a facility, Spire. But then this is there even in Loft as well. Right? You can see how the kids are playing. And again, this is designed by specialized vendors. So there is a role play based design also. You can see in the far right, there's kitchen. I think that is hospital. So, there's a particular way how kids play, and then they have built this. Right, now let me go to the next phase, which is to talk about the clubhouse. Some of the aspects of the clubhouse I've already covered in the lifestyle grid, but I'll quickly run through so that you have a understanding of, from a simple clubhouse, understanding of the entire clubhouse as its own self. Right, so again, it has one of the largest clubhouse space in this category, 55,000 square feet of clubhouse space, and to add to that, you have close to 40,000 square feet of amenities underneath the towers, what we call the urban corridor. So put together, both of these constitute 95,000 square feet of amenity space, which is actually 5.3% of amenity space on a super built up. The total project built up square feet is 15.5 lakhs. And 95,000 is close to 5.2, 5.3%. So it's the highest in this entire class, actually 6%, sorry. So it's highest in the class. No other project in the city has this high ratio of amenity space on a super built up. And you can see, because of the high space, we were able to accommodate various facilities, both for kids and for adults, and new age facilities like the co-working and the medical office as well. Right? But yeah, the clubhouse by itself is 55,000 square foot, and it's 4 floors. So this is the ground floor. I'll quickly go through this. Some of the places where we have the render I would like to share. So this is the lobby in the ground floor. and right beside this is the multi-purpose hall. So this is what your guests would be experiencing when they are coming to a party which you are going to host. It's as good as any 5-star hotel one can come across. Right, this is a multi-purpose hall. This is a squash court. I think this is a stock image what we put here. And then the first floor you have the gym and the swimming pool. So the swimming pool is a double height swimming pool. It's again one of the largest in its category, close to I think 100 feet in length, 95 to 100 feet in length. And then you have the gym looking over the swimming pool also. This is the gym. And the second floor you have half of the floor which goes to the gym section, and the other half you have the salon section. This is the yoga and aerobics hall in the second floor. This is the gym section. This is the salon. And then comes the third floor. The third floor is simple. You have indoor sports like badminton court and the kids play zone, what I've shown you earlier. This is the badminton courts. You have 3 and all of them are, I mean the entire space is air conditioned. Again, in terms of the number of badminton courts also, this has the best ratio in any project in the city currently. This is the indoor play zone area. And then the fourth floor, we have the entire guest rooms, and I believe the medical office is also in the fourth floor. These are the guest rooms and the medical office. So yeah, so that's it from the product side. I wanted to explain this entire lifestyle grid in line with the first-time home buyer. So who is our fundamental our customer, and then how we address their solution using a framework called the lifestyle grid. So, and just before I move on to the next section, which is about the long-term investors and and giving a framework for rental investors, I just wanted to share this thing. So these are, again, given that we are in the heart of the financial district, surrounded by all these companies. So these are the companies from where most of our buyers are currently, those who have bought. So you can expect your neighbors from these working in these companies, and roughly most of the age group is around that 35-ish, right? So let me get into this, the second customer group, which was around the long-term investors or the rental buyers. So these are people, essentially, as I mentioned earlier, these are people who are looking to establish alternate income, right? Typically their age groups are around 45 to 55, and they're looking to develop an alternate income because they're expected to retire in the next 7 to 10 years. And a good number of NRIs also fall in this category, where they are looking at, let me buy a property, and maybe if I go back to India in 5 to 7 years, until then lease it, and when I move back, I'm going to enjoy the property for myself. So even to address their needs also, we have built a framework called the investment grid, in which we have broken down into 5 chapters: connectivity, nearby offices, social infra, walkability, and a rental analysis, what I could do from data available online, to give you a perspective of what is the possibility one can do with this project. Right. Firstly, let me talk about the connectivity aspect. Right. We have shot some videos of how the location of the neighborhood, how the site is located. So let me play that. This is how you can, the approach to the site from the Gachibowli junction is, right? Now let me play a connectivity video from the ISB junction. So this is the new mega downtown in making. So another very important aspect of this entire location, right, from a connectivity standpoint, and how important is connectivity for investment, for higher ROI. So as you could see, one, we are in close proximity to ORR and connecting to ORR via 100 feet roads that are like 6-lane roads, right? And you can connect to ORR on either side in matter of like 3 to 5 minutes. That's one key advantage. And another key thing which the government have announced and work is probably going to start is the metro connection from KPHB to financial district. This is something which will further boost the entire job generation in the area. See, Hyderabad mein na, what's happening is two things. One, majority of the commercial leasing, unlike Bangalore, where it's happening all around the city, in Hyderabad, given the infrastructure which is already in place, majority of the commercial leasing is happening in two micro markets. One is Raidurg, other is financial district. And Raidurg is also around what, like 15 to 20 minutes away from financial district. When it comes to Raidurg, currently there is no new space. It's all leased out. There's no vacancy. And at the same time, there is not much housing there at all. The next set of leasing is all begun to happen in financial district, because that is where the supply of offices and supply of homes is also there. And you all know offices, when they are signing up leases, companies, one of the key things they look at is availability of housing for their employees. So that's how now financial district is the second biggest market, and we're going to perform much better. So and Hyderabad itself, at a city scale, we are doing close to 11 to 12 million square feet of leases. Again, to put in perspective, for every million square feet of lease, you will be having 10,000 employees. Companies typically take up space 100 square foot per person. So for every 1 million square feet, you have 10,000 employees. So roughly 10 to 12 million square feet of space is getting leased. It means there's going to be a job generation of 1 lakh to 1,20,000 jobs, in I would say 3 to 4 quarters from when it is leased. And Raidurg and after that financial district are the two micro markets where I would say 100% of it is being leased between these two. Currently, both of them are standing at 50-50. Close to 5 lakh square feet is being leased in Raidurg, and close to 5 lakh square feet is being leased in financial district. And Raidurg doesn't have any new supply. So future you will be seeing a lot more leasing happening in the financial district only. And of course, the metro connectivity to the space will further boost that entire leasing thing, because these days companies are looking for metro connectivity for their employees, right? And I mean, this is already awarded also. I think work is probably going to start soon. Then nearby offices, because again, when somebody is buying with a rental perspective in mind, it's very important to keep in mind that what is the job generation happening in the neighborhood, because ultimately only when the job generation is high can people come. I mean, the rental demand can be expected to be higher. So most of you already know this. The financial district, as the name also suggests, is the epicenter of most of these offices. So I don't think I need to probably mention in detail, but yeah, we have close to 50 plus offices and annual leasing of close to 5 to 6 lakh square feet only in this neighborhood. So you can presume that close to 50,000 to 60,000 new jobs are getting generated only in this neighborhood. Some of the key things I would like to highlight is Google is planning to build their biggest headquarter after the one in US in this neighborhood, right? Google, the Googleplex, I think that's what it's called. Work also is under process. There's a NVIDIA office, Apple, Microsoft has a very big presence here. So these are some of the new leases which got signed up. Again, you have companies from IT services to IT products. And again, it has become sort of a hotspot for GCCs also. I mean, currently India is going through a GCC boom all across the country, and Hyderabad is the second in the nation. Yeah, in this particular, recently McDonald's has taken up, Costco has taken up space, right? Again, broadly, I'm just iterating, right? Google, Microsoft. So you can see, right, you've got all sort of global MNCs located here and huge workforce and base setup here. And hence the demand would be very, very high from a rent standpoint from new employees. And the social infra, again, see, something which is very, very important and quite a lot of times overlooked is the social infra. Because what we have seen when we did research is that a lot of the IT, people working in the IT segment are high income earners. And high income earners require a lot of social amenities like F&B, schools form a major part, right? They want schools to be closer so that, you know, it's easier for the kids and they don't have to really drop off. Of course, there are bus services, but it's much better if the schools are closer. And then another very, very important thing is for the entire weekend activity, there needs to be a lot of F&B, restaurants and screens, multiplexes, which can really, which is what their need is, which can cater to their lifestyle. So that also we have mapped. So we have close to 15 plus schools in the vicinity. Some of them are in like 5-minute walk away, like Future Kids School and Keystone. It's simple, like a 5-minute walk. You don't even have to remove your car. And then 20 plus F&B spaces. In fact, over the last 1 year, there's been a F&B wave here in this neighborhood. A lot of new spaces have opened up, breweries, clubs, and restaurants. So yeah, a lot more is going to happen as the time comes by. This is what has happened predominantly in the last, I would say, 1 year. But as we move towards handover, which is next year, December, a lot more things will happen. But yeah, so close to we have 20 plus F&B spaces, all the top brands in the city operating from here. Right? So another very, very important thing I wanted to point out is the importance of walkability to the rental investor, which is I've never spoken about, or probably people are not totally aware of it. So I thought I found it interesting when I was doing my research on this. So I thought I'll share it with you. So two key projects, the Prestige SkyTech IT Park, which is 400 meters from Loft, and the next one, Kalyani IT Park, that's 250 meters from Loft. In between these two buildings, Prestige IT Park is close to 2 million square feet, and the Kalyani IT Park is also 2 million square feet. The Prestige IT Park is almost 90% leased. You have all the GCCs and insurance companies who have taken up space there, essentially the tech center. And close to 20,000 people will be working once these offices start operating. I think already 30% of the space is under operations also. Right, so in between, again, this, then the Kalyani IT Park. So in between both of these buildings put together, you are looking at 2 plus 2, 4 million square feet, and going by the calculation of 100 square feet per employee, close to 40,000 people will be working in just these two buildings. And this would be one of the very, very few projects where you could literally walk to work. Right, the same case is not true for most buildings in the neighborhood. Let's say if some project is on the other side of the OR, then you have to pull your car out and then, you know, go through the entire car grind. But yeah, between these two IT parks, there are like maybe 2 or 3 projects only where people can stay and directly walk to work, which will offer that extra premium from a investment standpoint. So I thought I'll share this with you. So this is the Prestige SkyTech thing. So, and the final thing, rental analysis, given that this is a customer base who are looking to, develop an alternate income source, which will come in handy once they plan to retire. As I've mentioned earlier, most of these people are 45 plus, 45 to 55. So this is most likely going to be their second or third home, and we categorize them under the long-term investors. So a little bit analysis what we have done. I think the source is also Magic Bricks and these online portals, the listings, various listings what we analyzed, and we plotted these things. This is how the rentals are standing out and as you can see, the highest is financial district, and it's a no-brainer. It's closest to office. So you can see the closer to office, the higher the rent. Your ability to walk to office, much higher the rent. So this is a broad plot. Another interesting thing also I found out from a rental standpoint is the supply of, units also from a renting standpoint is very, very low in financial district. In fact, most of the supply has just been in our projects. All the newer projects are operating at larger sizes, which are more end user, and like a typical renter will not be staying there. So even that's pointing out in the data also, 1700 to 1900 square feet to a 1900 to 2000 square feet, there's no real difference in rental amount. So the smaller size offers higher renter per SFT, thereby offering higher ROI. So that's what I thought I'll share with you. And another interesting thing also I thought I'll pick up in this is that the entire concept of residential versus commercial rental analysis, right? I see a lot of people, they buy commercial properties with the expectation of they can get a 50 rupee rental, right, to develop their rental portfolio. But I've done a vis-a-vis comparison on how residential is performing vis-a-vis the commercial, right? Residential also in this particular pockets of financial district where you can walk to work, the rental can be expected of 50 rupee per SFT per month. I can boldly say that because I've read through all the data. So that can be a good expectation. Actually in commercial also, that's what people have been, sort of their expectation. But in a lot of commercial projects where people have been investing from a rental standpoint, especially when they're buying one floor plate amongst multiple, multiple owners, it's becoming a challenge. So leasing in residential is in your control. So you can get a tenant, right, where you work with, portals, or you have rental agencies, tenancy agencies who will source you a tenant. In the case of commercial, that is very different. You cannot directly lease your property, especially if you have an undivided ownership of space. That will be leased by the builder in a holistic case. So you don't have much control over it. Another thing is selling of spaces, and this is easier because it's essentially you're selling your apartments, defined space. Whereas in commercial, it's much more difficult, especially if your share of space is undivided, it gets very difficult to sell. And then in residential, you can see the ownership is identified, right, which is your flat. In commercial, again, the ownership is not identified, thereby making it difficult to sell also. So what I could see from the data collected was that in certain pockets of financial district, the residential rentals are providing a much better quality of return than the commercial properties as well. Right, so before I end my side, so I just thought a little bit talk about the handover. So the project is going as per schedule. I think Tower A will be reaching the 30th floor slab casting milestone in maybe a week or two, and then Tower B another week or two from there. So it's currently as per schedule, and December 26 is when we'll be doing the handovers. So before I sign off, all the research what we have done from a first-time home buyers I've presented using the framework of lifestyle grid, and all the analysis research what we have done from the long-term investor I've presented. So all of this research, is what consolidated into the product, and I just wanted to share the walkthrough video of this project so that you get an understanding of how it is going to look like. Is it playing? You can take me off the screen. right? So thank you for all the people. Thank you and welcome to ASBL family for all the new customers and people who are already our customers. Thank you for joining. So before I move on, in case any of you want to have any doubts or queries, particularly regarding your unit or anything, you can reach out to our sales manager. I'll just be on the slide for 30 seconds. So for those of you needed, you can note down their numbers. So any particular specific information, you can reach out to them. Right. So now let's head into the next section, the Q&A section. So you can scan the QR and the questions will start popping up and I'll start answering. Yeah. Right, so I'll just adjust my chair. So we have our first set of questions. So from Mr. Vijay, what is the CAGR for commercial property in financial district? See, typically one can expect a rental yield of, especially when they're doing a strata buy, which is what most investors do, around 5-6% and 5 to 6%, and then you have a rental appreciation of 4.5%, right? So both combined, you land around 10 to 11% in the commercial space, right? But off lately, what's been happening is the rental yields at a 50 rupee rental, the price what is getting charged in the commercial is much higher. Thereby, the the IRR is falling down to sub 10. That's what I've been seeing in commercial. And another major thing also in commercial, what I'm seeing is that whenever there are multiple tenants on a single floor plate, it's becoming very difficult to lease it, because most MNC companies do not want to deal with multiple owners. So this has been a challenge what I've been observing of lately, right? So next, Mr. Abhinav, please explain about the location. Sir, as I've shown it to you, it's in the heart of financial district, right on a 100-feet road. You can, for any specific detail, you can reach out to the sales manager, or you can even, in the website, we have the same video pointed out also, right? So it's in the financial district on a 100-feet road. If I might say, it's right behind Spectra, right? So yeah, I think you can see it in the maps. It would be much explanatory, right? Thank you. Next, Mr. Sanjay. Price. So see, currently we are at around 1.84 crore is what we are closing. But any specifically, which of course the price will change if you're in the higher units. There will be floor rise and things like that. But yeah, the closing price is 1.84 crores plus floor rises sort of thing. But you can reach out to the sales managers for specific details. Of course, there will be some variation at a unit level, so they would be the best people to explain you. Right? Thank you. Next, Mr. Girish, temple as an amenity. Yes, we are exploring the possibility for that. We have even provisioned and earmarked space for that, which we can take a call closer to handover. And in case we are going ahead with it, post OC is when we can build the temple, not pre OC. But as of now, temple ke liye there is a specific place earmarked, and we are currently with the opinion of going ahead and building with it after getting the occupancy certificate, right? Next, we have Mr. Ashutosh. When will the model flat be ready? See, we are not making any model flat in this, sir, because as you can see, it's under construction property. So, I mean, once and in case even if somebody wants to look a fully completed flat, that would be closer to handover at least, I would say, a year to 14 months from now. Currently, all the flats are under production with various works running in different flats, right? Next, Mr. Raj. I say really impressed by your customer outreach strategy. Please keep it going and best wishes in IPO plans. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Truly appreciate your humble approach to real estate sector. Thank you. I reserved a unit on loft on 43rd floor. Add a quick clarification regarding the surroundings. I understand that Broadway is on the east side. On the west side, your sales team has mentioned that there's only a small parcel of land with one owner under 5 acres and that no areas will be coming. No, sir. I think there's a little difference in information. On one side, Broadway is coming, and on the other side, there is totally what is available on the ground is close to 25 acres from that side to ORR. 25 to 30 acres of land is available, and I believe that is between 3 or 5 owners, at least 2 of them, though I know. So it's available land until ORR Varaki. There's a good amount of land available, and that's close to 25 acres, which is free on the ground. So you can presume that some other project will come. It could be an IT park. What I've heard is because again, with the rise in demand for IT spaces, there is some discussion with IT players going on, or it could be another residential project also. Yeah, but one thing I can assure you is it's prime land, so there would be some project coming in, and you should be expecting that, right? Thank you. But one thing is, if it's an IT park, given that you're on the 43rd floor, IT parks are generally 17 to 18 floors, so you would, it wouldn't rise to that level of height. If it's residential, naturally it will. But the minimum distance between our tower and other tower in the other land, whether it's IT or residential, you will have a minimum distance of 40 meters, 40 to 45 meters. That's close to 150 to 165 feet. That as per the norm, right? Next, Mr. Nirmal. After handover, how will the amenities be maintained? For a project like Loft, the quality of upkeep is critical to preserve reputation and ensure the same living experience. Remain on par with builder left entirely to the society. I totally agree with you, Mr. Nirmal. We have a team, who can fully. We have developed a full-fledged team to maintain the property for perpetuity. However, as per the agreement, we do it for 2 years, and then we have to bid to the RWA, that is the Resident Welfare Association. We have to bid. Whoever they select will be maintaining it. But nevertheless, it's our property. Our intention is to maintain to eternity, like to the entire life cycle of the building for the next 50 years. But again, as per the law, we don't have that power. But we have the teams and all in place. That much I can assure you, and we are already doing it. But yeah, I also feel the same thing as you, because generally what I've been seeing is after giving the control to RWAs, the upkeep of the building is coming down. See, please understand, a high-grade property like this, see, especially the lobbies and all are nothing less than that of a 5-star hotel. It will cost you that extra 200-300 rupees a month on maintenance. But please, look at it from the value creation standpoint. Even if your property has to earn good return in the future, it has to be maintained well. And most of the times, the RWA or the Resident Welfare Association do not have, sort of the the entire wherewithal, like the understanding of how things need to be done. So I would point out this thing. But yeah, nevertheless, let's see. Right, based on my past experience, many builders lose continuous touch with their projects once handed over. How is ASBL different in this regard? Can you scroll down? Yeah. No, wait, comment. Oh, sorry, Mr. Nirmal, we lost your comment. If it will be helpful if you can write it again. Sorry for that. I'll come back to that later, right? Next, Mr. Srikanth. I heard the road ASBL Loft is in bad condition. What's happening? Can you go up to the question? Yes. Will government build road only after all construction done in that? I'm sure if they do now, it will cause issues. Absolutely. See, the land for the road is totally procured by the government. See, most of the cases, what happens is the land procurement is a major challenge for a road project. In this case, the land is totally procured, right? But yes, naturally, given that there's so much construction activity happening, it's not yet laid. I believe it will be laid once decent amount of construction is done. And it's a good that they did not lay it now. If in case it gets laid now, then there will be potholes which will be developing because of the high construction activity. So yeah, that's what I would say with the road. When exactly it would be laid, I wouldn't necessarily know, sir, because it's a government thing. But one thing I can assure you is the land acquisition is done. Most of the cases, that is the impediment. The land acquisition is totally done. Now, government will probably decide as per their planning, I believe, right? Next, why are not providing side-by-side car parking? That's a good question, Mr. Bharat. So when we provide side-by-side back parking, what happens is then the basements, from 4 basements, we have to go almost all up to 6.5 basements, right? Now each basement costs us 1,000 rupees per SFT. So we will be loading it on to the customers. So an extra car park, if it is provided side by side, apart from the ones which we naturally get, increases the number of basements. The number of basements in turn increases the number of increases the huge cost for the customer, which we feel is totally unpractical. Hence, we have not given that. So in 4 basements, this is how it fits. If you are giving side by side, it goes up to 5 or 6 basements also. So that's why we don't give it, because we feel like spending another 10 to 12 lakhs to build extra basements per flat and charging it to the customer, I feel is sort of overreach. Hence, we want to be sustainable from that standpoint. Right? Next, Mr. Naresh. Need clarity on what is included, excluded in the first 2 years of annual maintenance charge. Sir, you can refer to the agreement, sir. That has a much better guideline on what is being charged. It will be clearly, explicitly and clearly mentioned out in that. I would recommend you refer to that, because you will get the total information there, right? Thank you. Next, Mr. Keshav. You spoke about the demand in the area due to the financial district. Can you explain about the supply today and the upcoming supply in the area? So, right, sir. See, basically from a residential supply, over the last, I would say 1 year, the major launch we have only done actually ASBL Broadway, that's 2 million square feet. And I would definitely recommend you look at the tsrera.in or .com, and you put this pin code, you will get the details of all the projects which have been approved, with their handover timelines, with the number of flats. So that if you can do, then you'll have a much better clear understanding about this. But nevertheless, I can say that the supply of housing in the premium segment, that is a 2000, I would say 2000 square feet segment, plus or minus 200-300 square feet, the supply of new housing in that segment has been very low. In fact, you can take after Loft, not even Loft, from 2023 beginning, there has been no launch of new supply in the 2000s category of product. Only we have done that under Loft and in Broadway. So this particular product category, essentially targeted towards working professional, is going to be under supply as per our data, and that is why we are building that particular product segment. Right? You can see that in Broadway also. So, but yeah, if you are looking specifically, I would recommend you take a look at tsrera.in. You'll have detailed year by year supply. So you'll have a much more clearer answer for that, right? Next, I know while it was not factored in design stage, can we review the possibility of a pickleball court in Loft? Currently, no, sir, actually, because those particular parts are under construction. I don't think we can change the thing, but I would say 95% no, because it's under construction and designs are already completed. But nevertheless, I will check once with my engineering team. But again, just to keep the expectations on the right side, there's a 5% chance only. 95% it's not possible because it's all designed already, right? But nevertheless, I'll see, given that, yeah, when we designed it in 2022, that time pickleball was not, I don't think it was that popular that time. But yeah, I can see over the last 1 year, it became very popular, and yeah, it's quite a rage now, and a lot of people are picking to it. So I'll see what we can do, but I would say 95% not possible, 5% let me try, right? Thank you. Next, Miss Anjali, will ASBL provider provide interior decor options at time of handover? Ma'am, see, we don't directly provide, but nevertheless, we have a list of interior designers who list with us, right, and who have worked in prior projects. We can connect you guys, right? We can share their numbers, but you can directly deal with them. We do not deal with them on your behalf, because it's your taste and all. Yeah, nevertheless, we can give you information of people who have listed with us, and you can talk with them and select whoever sort of you can suits your needs and tastes, right? Next, Mr. Sanal, how do you manage that nobody make changes to external elevation of the building? See, basically these days, at least on this front, a lot of customers themselves are complying, sir. There is a good amount of awareness which has been built. I remember like 5-7 years back or 10 years back when I was working in my dad's company, that time this was a very big problem. People used to not adhere to community standards. Essentially, it's community standard, right? But luckily now that wave we have passed through, the awareness is high, and most of the buyers also are I would say, well exposed to the gated community lifestyle, because most of them are in IT's segment. Either they're currently living in a gated community in a rental, or they're already living in a gated community and they're upgrading. So they are used to exposed to this formats, but nevertheless, there will be, at least on a carrot and stick approach, there will be fines which will be, put up on them in case they violate it. But this has frankly not been a major problem in any of our recent handovers as well. This was a problem much before actually. But now you can be rest assured that it's not a major point of concern. But we have a facility team who will be monitoring this. And there'll be some, of course, we cannot monitor all the work because there'll be hundreds of flats where interiors will be happening. But if at all somebody will cross the guideline, and clearly this will be mentioned in the before handover, we'll be giving a fit out guideline in that what can be done, what cannot be done will be clearly mentioned. In case people violate that, there will be some penal charges, right? Next, Mr. Anji, as you're watching in ads about rental 85K month, will you be giving by me? Please let us know how you're going to give. So very simple, sir. It's part of the offer. So every month, I believe 7th or 10th, it will be mentioned in the rental sort of document what you'll be signing. You will be getting in accordance with that. It will be directly debited to the bank account which you will be giving. We'll be cutting 10% TDS and doing that. But nevertheless, I would tell you, please read through that offer document very carefully and then you take a decision. Offer document will have answers for all of these things, right? How can we access upcoming projects as existing customer? No problem, sir. This you're part of our customer database. So whenever there are any new information, we keep sharing it across to our DB. Yes, in some cases where the customer has sort of blocked or deleted the account, in that cases, yes, I have been hearing that I didn't get the information. So please make sure that you have not blocked or deleted our WhatsApp account. If that doesn't happen, then frequently I presume even for this ROTC, there about the information about this ROTC you would have got through your WhatsApp. So the same way we will be sharing it, right? Next, and there are no table tennis tables provided. They will be provided, sir, a couple of them in the kids play zone area. But we are frankly contemplating, because that space is better used as a kids play zone. It's being used much better than table tennis, putting it purely for table tennis. So nevertheless, mostly it will be there. Maybe in some case, if the designer says that they need that space, then in that case, we would be removing the table tennis and totally putting the kids play zone area, because kids are really liking it. We are getting very good feedback on that. But yeah, I'll try to accommodate these things in that space only, right? There was some discussion about resorts for ASBL customer during the US visit. Can you please talk a little bit about the roadmap? Sure, sir. Yeah, we are currently, I thought I'll announce this more during the family day, which we are hosting on December 20th. Again, information would be shared at closer to the event. I thought I'll announce some extent, but yeah, we are sort of exploring the land acquisition nearby so that we can start planning for this. But you should be looking at the current trajectory somewhere around 2 years span for that, right? Thank you. Next, Mr. Rachit, does maintenance include a group fire insurance for the society? I don't think so, sir. I don't think it includes group fire insurance for the society. But nevertheless, I am also not totally sure on this. I'll find out with the CRM team. Maybe you can reach out to them a little later. They should be able to help you with this. But on top of my mind, I don't think so, but let me find out. Okay. Next, Abhishek. And what is the expected price after ready and handover looking for investment? See, again, prices is something which I feel is contemplative. And of course, we have a good amount of data and forecasting tools which we use for future pricing, right? But I would say with a disclaimer that you also do your independent research, because this is the research what we have done. I'm expecting that rental will be around 85,000 to 1 lakh rupees, because We have seen that in Spire only, of lately, the rents are going at 80,000 rupees. That is 1900 square foot flats. So, and that is much farther from financial district. So here I presume it should easily touch that 85 to 1 lakh rupees a month, or maybe even higher as the employment generation goes up. In terms of price, I would say around 14K to 15K is what one can expect, maybe looking into the next 2 to 3 years. Not immediately at handover, because handover is only 1 year, but in the next 3 years, I'm looking at around 15K. But again, this is purely my projection. Please do your own independent analysis as well, right? Thank you. Next, Mr. Ankur. Your sales team told me that ASBL is giving 50 rupees per SFT rent every month. Why you do not spoken about this in webinar? See, offers is something which you can see we are clearly communicating on the website, and sales teams talk about it. This webinar is mainly to talk about our design, right? About who are our customer categories and what is the product design. That's what I would like to cover. Anything particular to this offer, you can reach out to the sales team. They should be better people to explain than me, right? Thank you. Next, Mr. Saurabh, are we on track with construction progress? When is the model flat expected to be ready? Do we have staff quarters included in loft? No, sir, staff quarters are not included. We have not mentioned it as well. It's currently as per progress. So December 26 is where we are again clearly looking to start the handover of the units. And model flat, see, we are not making any model flat per se. You can look at your unit closer to handover at the time. Of course, before the handover, you are encouraged and totally allowed to do a thorough inspection and then only take the handover. So that time you can take it. But currently, we're not building any model flat per se in this. And yeah, regarding progress, it's on track. So December 26, around 16 months from now, the handovers would be started, right? And before that, I'll do one more ROTC as well, but I'll talk mainly around the maintenance awareness programs and all of that. But yeah, that we'll talk about next year, okay? Next, how the water supply will be to the apartments, because as you explained, it will be more dense in the future. Water and greenery is a concern. See, ma'am, water, any project, not just this one, any high-rise or not even high-rise, I would say, any project above 5 floors, water has to come from piped water connection only. It cannot come from underground water, sources, because that's not sustainable. But nevertheless, we have bore wells which we put, but frankly, I think you will only get, given the number of people staying, maybe 10 to 12% of the requirement can come from there. Majority of it would be a piped water. Now, the piped water connection will come after getting the OC, then the work will start. That is a government procedure. So once we get OC, then the water board will lay down the pipeline. Good thing is, there are a lot of other projects which are already completed or to be completing. Like for example, Spectra will be completed this year only. So the pipeline at least will come till there. We just have to do the extension work till here. So that's at least, you're not putting a pipeline from very far off area in that matter per se. So yeah, so majority would be piped water from the government sources, right? Next, Mr. Nishit. Thank you, Ajitesh, for having this ROTC events daily and answering our question. We have physiotherapy in the community, considering how much is being used in recent time. If not, we can add in some. Yes, sir. Physiotherapy as a design requirement has not been picked up in 2022. In like when we were doing the design research for Loft, I agree with you that off lately the demand for this has significantly gone up. Let me see. See, currently it's not designed. The space is not provisioned for it. But I'll see if space can be made for it, right? Thank you for the suggestion. If it can be made, then we will try to make it happen, right? Recently, pickleball. Yeah, pickleball also I've answered. Again, it's designed and already work is going on. I don't think we can change. But nevertheless, let me see. See, 95%, let me keep the expectation clear that it's not possible. But 5%, let me give it a shot and see if possible, we will accommodate the pickleball as well. Do we have any indoor space where we can watch games, movies, screening? It can be. No, sir. Indoor space for these things is not. It's not there. It's not been. That was not the requirement back in the day. For this, I don't think we can find space also, right? Which all amenities will be chargeable separately? Again, this is something closer to the handover. The next year ROTC, I'll be able to give a detailed breakup. But however, I think. Broadly speaking, gym and swimming pool and the multi-purpose hall, that is when you do the party, would be charged. Gym and swimming pool on a monthly basis of for maintenance and those sort of things would be there. But I will be able to better answer it closer to handover in the next year ROTC, right? Thank you. Next, Mr. Krishna. Have you considered offering resident multiple options for finishes during construction instead of one builder grade? For example, matte finish tiles instead of glossy or black matte faucets. No, sir, we are not doing this because I've done it in my prior projects. This usually creates chaos for us in our engineering, and it's significantly becoming the major reason for project delays. So we have stopped doing this from almost all, I would say, last 7 years. None of our projects we do this. However, after handover, you are free to change some of the things, again in compliance with the fit out guideline. Please follow the fit out guideline, because it's not only the safety of your home, safety for all your other residents and neighbors as well. So you can, in accordance with the fit out guideline, you can change certain things that you can do it at your time of interiors, right? What studies have been conducted on how Broadway towers might impact ventilation or sunlight on loft, especially over the affected sites? Sir, basically for every project we will do a sunlight analysis, right? And as buildings come up, there will be the shade analysis also keeps changing. So whatever analysis has been done, there'll be a shade analysis done, and the buildings would be built. That's a thing. I don't think there'll be anything specific for that, because frankly, while doing loft, there was no Broadway, so I couldn't have imagined what would come there. And now that there is Broadway, I cannot really say what will come next also, because it's a very prominent area and a key real estate micro market. A lot of construction will be happening, and that is good also, because only when a lot of construction happens, you have different type of building, the demand goes up and the property prices appreciate, right? But one thing I can definitely say is, whatever towers come now on the Broadway side or on the other side as well, you'll have a minimum distance of 150 feet from tower to tower, 20 meter from our boundary minimum and 20 meter on the other side. So 140 to 45 meter of tower to tower distance. So that is clearly ample space for a lot of ventilation, right? So you shouldn't, that shouldn't be a major problem. But yeah, that can be said, like 140 meters, a minimum of 40 to 45 meters distance would be there tower to tower from this project to any other project in the neighborhood. Sometimes it might even be more depending on their designs, right? Next, Mr. Srikanth. There are a couple of RMC plants nearby. Are those permanent structures? I'm worried about the pollution as they're very close. See, RMC plants, sir, is totally allowed if it's a in-suite construction. That is, as a developer, if I'm building a project, I can put an RMC plant there, or I mean what we call captive consumption ke liye, it's they're allowed. So I believe those would be going on, right? Until they finish the work, those plants would be there, right? Next, Mr. Mahindra. When do you think the project will be completely ready with all the greenery? See, we'll be starting handovers from December 26. Generally, to get OC and to finish all of these things, it typically takes around 4 to 5 months of extra time. But handovers will be starting from December 26, right? In which you can say all the flat level works, everything will be done. With the planting and all works would be under progress. But yeah, for totally with OC, I would say you should be looking plus 4-5 months. Again, covered in the agreement also as a time extension period of 6 months. So within that, it will be typically done. Are there guest parking spaces? Yes, sir, there are guest parking spaces available. I don't know exactly in which, whether they're in all basements or not, but I definitely know they're in B1. They are available in B1, right? Now, Mr. Rajshekhar. Any scope to get connection with ORR directly towards? See, again, this is something which a government related thing. I would personally not want that to happen, though I am not lobbying against it or for it. Because see, one of the beauty of Loft is that it's in the center of the downtown and it's a dead end. Generally, dead ends are much more quieter, and this is a residential community, right? So if it's quieter, it adds to the premiumness and the quality of life also goes better. But currently there is no clarity on whether that will get connected. No, not no clarity. Currently there is no, proposal to connect it to the ORR. There's no proposal, and it's clearly mentioned in the road plan also. But if at all something changes, you would know. Right, next, Mr. Ankur. My question is removed. Is something fishy with 50 rupee offer we hear about from offer from CEO? So definitely, see, you can look at the agreement. That's what I'm saying. You look at the agreement and you take a call. If you're not really comfortable, then definitely you should not go through the stress of that, right? So if you are interested, you can look at that's what I'm read through the agreement very clearly. And if you get the comfort, you do it. If not, I would say there are many other things to look at, right? Next, Mr. Manju. When is the earliest that interior designing modifications can be started? Would it be? Yes, ma'am. Any modifications you can do only after handover. That is after December 26. Once the flat is handed over, you can do any interior modifications. But again, please adhere to the fit-out guidelines. We will be giving this fit-out guidelines at time of handover, and even next year ROTC when I do, I'll talk about the fit-out guidelines also. You will have the document. Please comply with that and you can do it, right? Will the corpus be transferred fully to RWA? Yeah, the corpus is for the RWA only, sir. After the 2-year period, the corpus will be totally transferred. Once the RWA is formed and whatever the process of banking and all of that is established, by the time we will be finishing our 2-year period, we will transfer the RWA. And again, clauses to this also will be clearly mentioned in the agreement. Anything specific, you can look into that, right? Next, Mr. Suri, in the flat plan or render image, the balcony appears open and unconstructed, but I notice in reality it comes with 2 supporting pillars that blocks part of the view in some floors. Is there possibility for alternate adjustment that can be done to avoid to minimize? Sir, that's again part of the elevation, sir. That it's designed. If we don't do that, then the elevation will look very bland. It's part of the elevation. It adds to the elevation of the building, and there's a play, right? You can't, the building can't have a simple same thing like from 0 to 45 floors. It doesn't look good. So that's why architects play around in its vertical facade. So that's part of elevation, sir. We cannot do anything to that, right? Next, Mr. Nirmal. Yeah, thanks. Based on past experience, many builders lose continuous touch with their projects once handed over. How is ASBL different in this regard, and what measure in place to ensure long-term engagement and support? See, basically the first 2 years, so we will be there, sir. Post that, currently we are working on creating a digital twin for the entire maintenance aspect also, which has all the information regarding STP, let's say it's a sewage treatment plant, how it should be maintained, who should be maintaining, what sort of chemicals should be used. Why this is important is because I've seen that after we leave, something as a tank or a STP maintenance ke liye, and the RWA is not technical, technically they don't have the knowledge about it, right? This is not their set of expertise. So they typically give the maintenance works to anybody who provides the lowest cost, thereby compromising the efficiency of these machines. I've seen that happening. Once we leave, these machines are taking more downtime and their efficiencies are down. That's why I'm putting in all this information in the digital twin, which we will be handing over to the customer for eternity. So wherein which the customers can see what sort of maintenance should be done, what chemicals should be used, so that when they are negotiating, when the RWA is negotiating with the vendors, they can ask them that, are you using these chemicals or materials so that maintenance can happen to the best of the ability. That pura information and data model, we will be giving it to the RWA. In case we maintain good, we can, we totally adhere to that. In case we don't, at least you guys will have the information of how to do it. Rest will depend on the RWA, right? Since this is a significant investment, how can we be assured that my property value will not depreciate over time due to poor maintenance or lack of builder involvement? See, fairly, again, after 2 years, if I as a builder has not been selected for the maintenance, then I will not be involved. My job is done there. I will have to go on to the next things. The way builder can be involved with their property is if we do the building management and maintenance, and we have a team in place, but as per law, RWA has to select that. We cannot defaultly say we will manage for lifetime. That's not allowed. But yeah, if the RWA selects, we would be more than happy to do it. Nevertheless, as an add-on facility and add-on service, we are giving the entire data model to you guys and go. At least how to maintain now, information will be known. Right now, whether the community wants to spend for it or don't want to, that's purely their choice. I wouldn't have any role there. But yeah, nevertheless, please, as customers, properties like these will cost you extra 200-300 rupees per month to maintain it. But that is what creates the value. So please go in line with that, right? Thank you. Can you reduce the AC? It's very cold. make it warmer a little bit. Right, next Mr. Vishal. Not sure what feedback we have on the outdoor look and color of Spire and Spectra building. Can we ensure loft is a very good appealing? So loft ka to design is totally completed. Whatever color you see on the website, on the elevation, that is what the elevation colors are going to be. So I would request you to kindly take a look, because that is what has been finalized also. Right, next Mr. Bharat. Request you for similar session on Spectra and handover date too early to start interior space. Sure, sir. Again, Spectra ROTC is also planned. Mostly I'm planning to do it in the month of October, where the major discussion points would be around the entire maintenance, the handover process and the maintenance related things. So yeah, probably in October. But again, handovers will start from December 25 as committed. There's no change from that. Of course, it will be done in batches and schedules, which also I'll be presenting in the next ROTC, right? Next, EV charging. See, some some car parks we are provisioning where are provisioned for EV charging. So what happens is, once we hand over, dedicated car parks would be there, where a third-party vendor will come and set up all the infrastructure, and people will be paying on demand to them, to that vendor, right? As in when you charge your car, you pay just like how you pay to a fuel service provider. So it's the same thing. We are provisioning certain car parks, and they will be and a vendor would come in once handover is done, and they would be running the entire infrastructure, and it will be pay on demand. Next, what would be the amount to register the property? Oh, I presume it's the same 7.6% stamp duty as of now, if that is what is the question. Currently, I think it's 7.6% is the stamp duty, ma'am. Right, Mr. Sahnal. Oh, what happened? I think my screen went blank, so let's just wait for some time. Okay, perfect. We're back. How do you make sure nobody make changes to the external elevations? I've already answered this, sir. Right. Next question. I want to buy ASBL loft, but carpet size is the issue for me. Big balcony, not rooms. Again, see, this big balcony is something which has been a requirement from most of our customers. In fact, that has been a key USP for all our projects. And we have already handed over Spire, and people are loving it. They said that's where they spend most of the time. So it could be an individual opinion. So you can again, the carpet area size are mentioned online, so at least you can see what is there and take a decision in line, right? Next, Mr. Banu. Q&A about Spectra, any changes in external color scheme? No, see, external color scheme is, the building is painted now, I can't change that, right? And Q&A on Spectra, it would be, that's what I was mentioned earlier. I'm planning around in the month of October, maybe a month here and there, which will be mainly around handover process and maintenance, right? Next, Ms. Rajita, loft giving rental amount till project complete. Can I know more details on this option? Any price difference? Ma'am, I've mentioned the numbers of our sales managers. You can reach out to them. They will be the best people to explain this to you in detail. Maybe you can put the numbers in the comment section as well, team, so that they can reach out to them, right? Thank you, ma'am. Next, Mr. Nirmal. Very few builders bold enough to have webinars to explain and taking question to answers. I come to know about ASBL yesterday. I watched your videos and podcast, very informative. Keep it up. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Next, Mr. Keshav. Despite the shortage of premium 2,000 square feet apartments in that area, it seems that sales have been slow. Do you agree with that? And if so, what are the facts and contributing? See, sales is a market cyclicality, and it depends on builder to builder, their capabilities. Like recently, we have launched ASBL Broadway, and in the opening day we sold 1,000 crores plus. So I am very happy with my sales, but again, this is something which brand to brand, depending on their capability, location, product, customer outreach, this is all, sales is a capability of all of this. So at least for us, I'm super happy with what's happening. and we want to do more of, progress more in this line. Next, Mr. Satish. Could you please confirm whether the loft project will be handed over with all the amenities, play area, garden completed by December, or will the amenities be constructed after handover? Sir, see, again, mentioned in the agreement, December 26 is when the handover, so all the flats ka handover will start from then, right? However, our idea is to complete most of these works, but some works might stretch into the future upcoming months, which we have mentioned in the grace period of 6 months. So some of the works might stretch up to, especially getting OC sometimes, the government might be busy, some officers might not be there, it typically takes some time. That's why we take that extra 6-month buffer. But your flat handovers, currently you can be rest assured that December 26 is what it looks like. But nevertheless, again, as per the agreement, we are entitled for the 6-month grace period. So that's how it would happen, right? Next, Mr. Shiva, for investment purpose, which is best land? See, again, if you are somebody who are living in that area and your work or your family stays there, naturally that would be better. But if you're working in this area, then this is better. Or if you're somebody, okay, you mentioned for investment purposes, right? Naturally, this area, the rental incomes would be higher because job generation is higher here. Kukatpalli is mainly a residential micro market, landmark particularly, and it's a city micro market, right? Which mainly has small and medium scale businesses. But this is IT market, so you have large MNC companies establishing IT parks here. So definitely from this point of rental investment or investment purpose, this area would be better, right? Next, Mr. Kalyan. Can you confirm the exact position of ASBL relative to which? It's on, so you can look up online, I don't know from left or right side. It's abutting loft, that much I can say. It's on the left side, which side? If you're looking at the building, then the left side. If you're looking away from the building, then it's on the right side. But yeah, you can look up online, right? Next, to my knowledge, lifts are from Kone. Despite of being reputed make, they have really bad reputation with respect to maintenance. Any chance of changing the lift? So we have had great relationship with Kone. We didn't have any major issues, and it's a very, very popular, known and highly reputed brand, right, from Europe. And they have very good presence in probably, I would say, Hyderabad and most of in India itself. So one need not expect any major maintenance discrepancies. Yes, it could have happened that in one particular site and some particular cases, maybe there could be some issue crop up, but frankly, at a broad level, we don't see any problem with them. Their quality is good. So we intend to stick with that, right? Do you have any water harvesting pits and solar system in loft? Yes, we do. Again, this is also provided in the norm. So as per the government norm, we have solar power generation on the rooftop. And the power generated from that will go towards powering your common area lighting and all. Again, that electricity is not sufficient to light all the common area, but yeah, some amount of it will, like whatever is generated will go towards that and it will offset the billing. And rainwater harvesting pit also, again, as per the government law, we are supposed to provide it, and as per the norm, we are providing that, right? Next, Mr. Neeraj, thank you for the session. Thank you, sir. Can you please share your view on why there are so many big size units now instead of more practical loft flat sizes? Frankly, I also don't know why people have done that. In fact, I myself am surprised because it's sort of looks like a clear logic. Majority of the activity, what's happening in this neighborhood is all working professionals and large scale IT and IT sector employment. So I also don't know why large sizes were built. At least from our perspective, we are designing our projects looking at the market data, right? Frankly, even I don't know. Next, Mr. Mahindra. Can you please make sure common area tiles are not slippery? Are there provisions for accessibility? See, again, whatever tiles ka make and all is mentioned in the specification section, sir. I recommend you please read that. Whatever is mentioned there is what we'll be giving, right? Next. I have investment property. Can I sell without myself registering it? So you I have investment property. See, without registering, I'm not really sure on top of my mind what those particular clauses are there, but I recommend you look at the agreement of sale. Whatever is mentioned there, we would be implying, right? So you please refer to that. And in case maybe any particular query, you can reach out to the CRM, right? Next, Mr. Chakravarti, any insights on metro coming to financial districts? Yeah, see, I've mentioned earlier, sir, metro is planned from KPHB to financial district. I think Neopolis work planned on that. It's planned and whatever approved also. Work is supposed to start. If it comes, it goes through that ISB road. So we would be like maybe half a kilometer to a kilometer away from the metro once it happens. So that's already planned. Work has to start on that. Next, Mr. Krishna. Since the model flat isn't available, I would like to request to visit to the under construction flat. Considering it's a 2 crore investment, I did like to clearly understand the actual square usable space before getting. Sir, see, this is an under construction property, sir. From a safety standpoint, there have been few incidents which have happened in the past. And then it became a little bit of a problem. We can't do that again. Law also that, again, it might run into some sort of problem. So see, this is concreting works are happening on the rooftop and also it's not safe. However, maybe you can take a look at the, maybe one of the flat in Spectra, it would be like 10% smaller than that, right? So maybe to give you an approximate sizing. But in this, it can't, sir, because concreting work is happening. There will be concrete, spillover like from the top, which will come and which will be happening when the work is happening and various things happening. It's not safe, sir, right? Next, how ASBL is different than other high-rise projects? Sir, I've been, probably I've mentioned this in all this entire thing. Post the webinar is done, we will be sharing the link. You can probably go through that. It will give you a good understanding of the entire thing, right? Thank you. Ms. Chinni, how is power grid assigned to loft? Is this shared with some other projects? Power fluctuations are a major problem and how we are planning to back up to avoid electrical damage. See, basically, in the case of power cut, you'll have DG generators, right, which can support to 100% of your house requirement. ACs can run, everything can run. There won't be problem on that. Regarding the power grid thing, I'm not really sure, ma'am. Maybe closer to handover next year, I'll be able to say, because these things, the work happens very final to the handover time, where the government takes a call on that. Currently, I don't think I can, currently it's not at such stage, right? But nevertheless, if there's any power cut, DGs will be provided. And the entire equipment, the electrical panels and all, I believe, again, are in line with all the compliance, and the compliance covers these points. Whatever it covers, in line with the compliance is what the electrical panels and the panel room and all of those things would be established. But next year, maybe I'll be able to answer this, right? It's this question, right? Next, Mr. Nihar, any plans to extend your operations to Tier 2 cities like Warangal or Karimnagar? No, sir. Nothing as of now, right? Next. Also, most of the gated communities are going with prepaid power supply. Yeah, we also do that. Not only power, prepaid gas, prepaid water also. So all three vital supplies will be prepaid. If not, it will run into chaos and there'll be a lot of apartments where people don't end up paying the bills and it will collapse the society. Loft comes with all sort of IoTs and metering systems. All these three services, power, water, and gas, will be on a prepaid meter, right? Next. Ms. Nikita, will there be any ROTC for Spectra this year? Yes, ma'am, I've mentioned somewhere around October is what I'm planning, plus or minus a month here and there, right? Next, Mr. Nishit. Thank you, Ajitesh, for having this. Thank you, sir. Will you have a physiotherapy in the community considering how much it's being? I think I've answered this, sir. We'll try. I mean, currently it's not planned because in 2022, when the design brief was set up, it didn't come up in that time. So 95% it's not possible. But again, both this and the pickleball, let me see if possible I can, but to set the expectations upfront, 95% it's not possible because the work has also commenced in all of these sections, right? But let's see what we can do. In case we are doing it, then I'll just ask them to send out a newsletter, right? Next, Mr. Lohit. Did you provide any enclosure for pets? I know your father is a visionary and appreciate you talking. Thank you, sir. Thank you. See, for pets, I don't know. Maybe I have to recollect, not on top of my mind. But typically, we do give pet relief areas, right? Because what we see is, again, for pets, for them to relieve themselves is a very important process. Is a very important thing. So generally we give pet relief areas where they can go for any excretion or anything. So yeah, we do. But let me see where exactly we are giving. I'm on top of my mind. I think we are doing it, but not able to exactly recollect. Right? So few more participants are typing. I'll wait for a few more minutes if any more questions. Done? Okay, I think we don't have any more questions. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure connecting with you all. And for all the people who have come in from the last ROTC to now, welcome to the ASBL family. Thank you. Namaste.